Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here in Hutan Pantai. It is now April, so it has been a minute since the last episode. I did do a little bit of contract work off camera. Like, as you can tell, we've got $10,000 to our name here. And yeah, we jumped a couple of months, did a couple minor things, right? Just wasn't really enough, I thought, to do an episode, so I figured we'll wait and do something on our own land instead of just do some more contracts. That's what we've been mostly doing, right? Our contract work. So just try to change it up a little bit, right? Give ourselves a little bit more of a reason to have an episode than just to have one to do contracts. Trying to do as few contracts as I can on this series anyway, even though that's really all we've been able to do at the beginning. I know I've mentioned that a couple of times, but I just want to reiterate that I'm trying the best I can in this one to not do a whole lot of contracts. Now, one thing to note, and you're probably seeing it already, we did have some hail damage that happened overnight. So unfortunately, some of our crop took a hit, and this field is one of them. As you can see, we're coming right up to a portion of it right here where it had some hail damage, unfortunately. So I think this one had the worst of all the hail damage, I think. There's some over there. You can kind of see it outlined in the distance there if you look close enough. So maybe that one over there actually is worse than this one. I don't know. But they're pretty close because there's another bit of hail damage here, and then there's some more down the other end, I think. So not the greatest. But regardless, our big, massive, long-grain rice field is ready to harvest. Obviously, we're starting to do it already. And we're underway here and doing well. Now, I went ahead and flooded that field already. You've seen me do that a bunch, so I just figured I'd go ahead and flood it now and save ourselves a few minutes. But it's April, and a little bit of a later start today. It is noon, as you can see. Well, just past noon. And I don't recall... I don't think the long grain rice is going to be good to sell for quite a while. So this is probably just going to go into our silo for the most part. We'll come back and try to hit that little tiny piece. It's probably not much. It might not even give us anything, but we'll come back and get it. We'll go at it at a different angle. That hill right there is pretty steep, pretty severe. So it's just kind of difficult to get to it. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. We're moving along in this series. We still got a long, long ways to go. We really need to get some more money incoming here to the farm pretty quickly. We've got some other things we want to accomplish here. And really, right now, the only way to do that is by harvesting our own fields when it's time and then doing contracts. So ideally, we get to a point where we're making decent money off of productions, but the problem with the productions right now is the small productions, at least, they're just a waste of money and really a waste of your time, honestly. We still, even now, we still have canola. Oh, nope, we finally ran out. I apologize. I lied to you. We ran out of canola finally. So that production can go away. I think I'm going to put it away, or sell it, I guess, get rid of it. I don't think there's any reason to keep it, given how long it took. It's not even worth our time right now. Maybe they patch that and come out with an update here before Christmas, potentially, that helps the speed of those. But right now, there's no reason to even put it down. The price that it costs, you might as well just do a couple more harvests and save the money and get a bigger one. There is absolutely no reason to do those. If you were going to make it that slow, it should have been significantly cheaper than that. It should have been like $5,000. I mean, 36 grand for that? That's absolutely, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just ranting and complaining about something, but let's take a look here, actually, while we're here. Why not? Let's see. Long grain rice is best in July, which it's April, so it's not quite there yet. The prices actually aren't terrible. They're not bad at all. 1614, that's really not bad. We might end up selling it today. We might. And I know some of you make fun of me about that, how I can just put something in, you know, whenever it's best to sell it and sell it, right? I get it, but we've got a lot of reasons why I think it's not that. I don't think it's as bad as you guys are making it out to be. There's so many things we have to accomplish in this series, and it takes so long. to get the money to do so. And from everything that I've been told, that temple is going to take me forever. So, and I haven't even begun to look at the temple. So, I think we have enough. Like I said, if it does become too easy and we're just cruising along too quickly, we can always bump up the difficulty so then we are selling things for less. Things are, you know, etc., right? It just costs a little bit more money. It takes a little bit more time, but if you haven't, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't checked out the survival challenge that I just started, that one does have seasons on, so for those of you that do like seasons, you can go watch that. Now, granted, at the beginning, we're not really doing a whole lot that requires seasons, but eventually we will be. There we go. Nice, we got it. So we're almost full here. I'm probably going to put this on a worker here. Let's turn this on. I should have been doing the steering assist, but I didn't do it, so that's fine. I don't really think we need to do any headlands here. I mean, perhaps we do. The line we're getting ready to go down would be a headland pass, wouldn't it? Alright, well, we'll put it on. We'll just let the worker do what they want to do. Let's jump into the tractor here. I probably need to, when it's time to harvest this field over here, probably take out a little bit of a chunk on that corner there, just to make it easier to walk back here. Or I say walk back here, just drive back here so we don't kill any crop, right? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes when that time comes. It's going to be a bit. A lot of new traffic to the channel lately. It's pretty amazing. Well, I probably should just put it on a worker, shouldn't I? Dummy Z. All right, let me get out of the way. The worker's gonna do their thing for a second. I didn't even turn the worker on, dummy. Okay, well, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do, worker, I guess. That's fine. So recently, as in, and what I mean by recently, as yesterday, I had to get a new headset. So this headset is much. How am I going to put it? It is it's probably one of the highest quality headsets that I've ever had, ever. It's certainly not the highest you can get, but it's much higher than I normally have. Most of the headsets I've had have been pretty cheap, or knockoff brands of some sort, right? I really didn't spend the money on it, but I bought some on Amazon Prime Day recently, or on Cyber Monday, I guess. It wasn't Prime Day, it was Cyber Monday. And they're noise canceling, so it sounds very weird when I'm doing this video right now. I know that doesn't really translate to all of you, but it just sounds very weird to me right now. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to get used to them a little bit. The sound is fantastic. It's the best sound I've ever had when I'm doing a video game for sure, as far as headphones go. But the noise canceling also is kind of weird to me. It sounds weird, like I'm not hearing any background noises or anything like that, which I guess is kind of what you want, but also to me, I'm just not really used to it, so it kind of sounds like a little bit of an echo. So I need to kind of work on, I think, the output settings a little bit here on the Xbox and probably the game itself as well, but hopefully I'm coming across normal. I wouldn't expect anything to change because I'm still utilizing OBS, right, connected to the Xbox. Hold on a second, gang. There we go. Microphone issue again. So long story short, it has a microphone in the actual headset itself, but I'm not really utilizing that. I use a separate standalone speaker whenever I'm doing these videos. But it just kind of sounds a little different to me, and I don't think it's off. I think it's just I've been so used to having crappy headphones for so long that I'm really not used to this. Anyway, bit of a rant there. Okay, what are you doing there? Okay, whatever. Okay. We can probably take over for the worker now at this point. That's what we're going to do. So the contract I did, if you recall in the last episode, Field 1, kind of all the way down there, that big, massive field. I was like, ooh, that would be fun to do, but we kind of were at the time limit, basically, for the episode. Not that there's a specific time limit, but, you know, I've mentioned it so many times, I don't want to, you know, go into it again, but I try to keep them at a certain, you know, time period as much as I can, and, we did that. We did that harvest. Now, that harvest itself was, I think, just under 10,000. Plus the bonus, it got us actually up over $10,000. But then, see, here we go. I talked about this a couple episodes. I keep getting stuck on something. There's something that's popping up out of the ground or something that's causing us to get stuck when we're doing these rice harvests. Anyway. We had to spend some money, though, on some gas and some other things for the farm itself, services and things like that, so we ended up spending a little bit of that extra money we got, and then obviously I utilized a worker for a portion of that because I had to cart, you know, loads to the sell point and back, and I really didn't want to just wait around. I just decided to put a worker on doing that for me while I was making those trips. Now, I just put that first load in the... It wasn't even a full load, but I put it into the silo. We may sell some of it today, like I said. I don't think I'm going to sell all of it, though. I think I'm going to keep some of it on purpose, and the reason why I'm going to do that is just so we constantly have something to make some money for us when the time's right? If it's best to sell in a couple of months, I mean, I might as well hold on to most of it, right? I might as well only utilize it if I actually absolutely have to. We're almost to that point where we kind of have to, but since this field is ready to harvest after only a couple of months, I figured, let's just go ahead and knock this out. We can get this harvested. We can get this field re-drilled today. Get it all prepped, set up, ready to go. And then perhaps in the next episode, we'll spend a lot of that money, right? If we sell it all. Who knows? Now, in this episode, obviously, we skipped some months, right? But we're not going to always skip months. We're just going to do that every once in a while. I think I've mentioned that, and that's normally how I run all of my series, right? I don't want to just skip months just to skip months, but when there's not a whole lot to do, and that's really how it was literally just going to be us doing an episode just to do contracts. I don't want to do that all the time. I will do it every once in a while. Every once in a blue moon, we will absolutely do an episode and just do some contracts. If there's some good ones out there for us, we'll do them. Why not? I mean, it's very similar to the same thing we're doing here, but as I've said a number of times, I would prefer anything that I'm showing or I'm recording for the series itself is from our own farm, right? We're getting money from our farm, sure, absolutely, but I mean, anybody can just go and do a contract on a field, right? It's not really. Granted, we're harvesting a field right now, and it's a similar thing, but that's not really what you're coming here for, right? You're coming here to see where my mind goes, what I've decided to do, how we're going to accomplish this challenge. And that's more of the meat and potatoes there of what's going on, right? So, not the contracts. That's not really that exciting. Unless we're doing a contract to get to a certain price point for an idea we want to put down in the same episode. That totally makes sense. So I got my work Christmas party this week. Well, actually, when is this going to come out? This is going to come out Friday. So it should have been... I think this is coming out Friday. If I got my episodes correct, I think this one's coming out Friday. If that is a true statement, and you're watching this on a Friday, or if you're watching this on a repeat, I apologize, but... Well, I say repeat in the future, I guess. It's not really a repeat, I guess, in the future. I apologize, but I believe it would have been yesterday, if this is coming out Friday, which I think it is. I think my Christmas party would have been yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. Just rambling today. I'm in a rambling mood today. How many times are we going to see that train go by today? It's the exact same train every time. It goes by like every 5 minutes. Keep driving, Byron. Keep driving, buddy. You just keep on going. I had some issues with old Byron during the off-camera work I was doing. He just turned right out in front of me. Typical Byron. Had a stop sign. Didn't stop. Just blew right through it. Almost flipped me. It's when I was carting stuff. See, you're not paying attention. You start talking, you're just rambling and stop paying attention. All right, let's do a quick save here. So 1,618. That really isn't terrible. Isn't that the one we always go to? It is the one we always go to. Why do we always go to that one? Why don't we go to any other ones? The grain mill is very close to us. But that's a significant difference in price there. Is there anything in the used market today for us? Of course that's there. Why wouldn't it be? Of course it is. Of course. As soon as we buy it, there comes a used one. Why wouldn't there be? How much is ours worth? 39,299. It's almost worth doing. I mean, we could sell our other one and get this one and get the bigger spreading unit and still make money. I mean, we're still going to make like $13,000. I feel like we have to do that, gang. I feel like that is it would be stupid for us not to. Don't you agree? Hopefully you do. Right or wrong, I feel like that's something we should be doing right now. So, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do it, even though we're going to have to put some money into maintenance on it, to repairing it and all that stuff. I get that, and over time that might not be the best investment. But for right now, when we're looking to get some more money going, some more funds going, so we can actually start to, build out the yard a little more, get some more pieces of equipment, like mowing stuff, so we can get some goats going, right? We can get that knocked out. Because if we can get the goats going, we can get a lot of goat milk and things like that we can use and sell. That's easy money, man. So, yeah. Let's go sell this thing, man. It's, should have just waited until this episode, but, oh well. I mean, what are you gonna do? We waited for a while, nothing was coming out there. I'm like, I gotta get it. Because I really thought we were gonna need the lime for the rice fields, and it turns out we haven't needed the lime yet. So, we could have waited. Too late now. Where did my pallet just go? What the hell just happened there? I just unloaded the pallet. Did it just sink into the ground? Oh, it's in here somehow. Well, I'm gonna lose track of that if I don't. We gotta go fill this back up and move it somewhere else. I'm gonna lose that. I'm gonna completely forget that's in there. You boy. All right, there we go. Kind of in the way, but we'll move it around later. No big deal. One other thing we're going to do today, like I said, is we're going to get rid of the little production down there. It's just a waste of our money, man. It's just not doing anything. So we'll get rid of that today as well. It'll give us a little bit of money back. It's not going to be a ton, but it is going to be something. We ended up losing a little bit of money on that production there. I could just keep it, I guess. That's the other options. I could just keep it. I guess if it's enough loss, when we try to, you know, sell it back, if it's enough of a loss and we're not making a lot of it back, maybe we do just keep it, I guess, but it seems like a waste. It seems like a waste at this point. Okay. Trigger is somewhere in here. There it is. Let's repair it. And if we repaint it, somebody said something about if you repaint it, you don't make as much money as you used to. So before, I know somebody else has asked about this, but I'll mention it on this series too. If you sell something, if you own something, you sell it, and you repair it before you sell it, you make more money. Well, you'll get the repair money back, I guess. So in turn, you'll get more money. Repaint as well is what it used to be. I don't know if that's still the case or not, but let's watch it right here. Let's actually figure it out. 43,229. I'm going to repaint. It does go up. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much the price that it was, right? So, that's fine. Let's sell it. Okay, we'll buy this. Buy the big one, just like we had. Michelin tires, like we like it. 6-meter spread. Take the license plate off. We're good. So we made some money. See? Now we got 29,000. Well, that was worth it. Even though this one's going to need a bit of a service immediately, we made some money. We could probably service our tractor and this with the money that we got, which I think is probably a smart investment because we're probably not doing anything with this tractor for a while. Okay, repair, 829. That's not bad. I don't really care about the painting for this thing. I really don't. 2,404. Yeah, let's repair this too. Why not? I'm not worried about the painting. The only time I'm going to paint them is whenever we're selling them, just to make some extra, you know, funds. So I really don't care about that. That was totally worth it, gang. We just gained, even after doing some servicing for both of them, the tractor and the spreader, we just gained ourselves $16,000. That's a win-win right there. Did we lose a little bit overall? Probably a little bit, yeah, but that's okay. That's all right. Just what matters is what we have in the bank account right now, and that's much happier. I'm much happier with that amount, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Much happier. Now, one thing I should have did while I was there, and I screwed up and I didn't. What? Oh, I didn't turn it on, did I? Stupid. Dummy Z. Way to go, buddy. One thing we're going to need, though, when we re-drill that field, we're going to need some more fertilizer. We do not have enough fertilizer now. I should have bought it while we were at the shop. That was a mistake on my part. I should have did it then, and I didn't. So I'm going to go do that really quick. I'll be right back, gang. Alright, I didn't fill this thing up to max here because solid fertilizer is very expensive, but we have quite a lot in here. This should last us for quite a while. I'm not too concerned. When we start doing some more fertilizing contracts when they pop up, because you know how much I love doing those, we can always buy more, right? We can buy more at that point because we're going to be making money off of those contracts. If we do those. Which, if we do them. Oh boy, okay, that's not going to go in there. I was afraid of that. Once I started backing up, I'm like, this is not going to fit in there anymore. Because I put the big spreading discs on it. This is not going to fit in there. That's alright, it's got a cover on it, so it's not too bad if it stays outside. So we'll leave it outside, that's fine. We'll have to look to try to get another shed at some point to cover up some of the stuff that we know can't get in there, like the header for the harvester, for example. Alright, so let's flip this back around here. Let's, what are you doing? He's just... okay. Got stuck on something like I was getting stuck on stuff. That's exactly what happened there. Alright, let's hook this back up here to the trailer. good, gang. We're starting to actually get some stuff here where we have a lot to do whenever an episode comes, right? This is good. This is what we were looking for. It's what we wanted. See, I'm already killing some of that crop there on the corner, so we definitely need to shrink that corner a little bit just to make it easier on ourselves. And there he is, getting stuck again. Man, that is terrible. They need to fix that too. And this is one of their base game maps. Like, this should have been tested profusely, right? They should have found that easily, and that's not evidently the case. So let's finish this up, gang. It's not going to take long to do this. Once we're done with this, I'll put the rest of the actual yield of the grain rice into the silo. We'll get the old cultivator out, and we'll begin work on cultivating this field up. Okay, so I put this on a worker, gang, and I thought I hit save, or hit record, I guess I should say, and I didn't, so I screwed up for a second, so I apologize, but long story short, we have more money than where we left off with, and that's because it's moved on, obviously, for quite a while here, and what I did was, I went ahead and put the production chain of the canola oil on selling, so we sold everything else that was in there, regardless if it was the best time to sell it or not. We just sold it because I'm going to get rid of it. That way, we have the ability to get rid of this production, right? So yeah, you're losing quite a good chunk of this, honestly, but that's okay. It's fine. I'm not that concerned about it. It's fine. We'll go ahead and get rid of it. So it puts us back up to 46. The workers still doing their thing here. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're doing the inside first, which I guess is really what you should be doing. But now they're doing the headland. I don't know what they're doing, gang. We'll figure it out. I guess we'll have to fix that ourselves. But so that gets us to 46,000, which is not bad, right? That's a good. That's kind of what we were wanting, right? We wanted to make some money here. Now the problem is, with that money, are we really able to do a whole lot with it yet? Probably not. The only thing we could potentially do is maybe buy a plow, and start working on what I had talked about, right? So I had talked about, you know, kind of getting rid of some of this area here, right, that had buildings on it, like, and maybe turn it into a grass field or a field in general. It'd be an awkward shaped field, but maybe a field in general, right? That's something we could potentially do today. It does mean probably, if I really want it to be set up the way that I'm thinking here, is getting rid of these trees, right? And then I would kind of drag this out to here, somewhere around in there, and then kind of come like this, and then this way, right? And then all of this would be like a grass field, or just an extension of this field even is perfectly fine. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that plan, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I kind of want to think about it a little more. That's really what I'm thinking we're going to do. But the other thing to look at is, and I don't know if there is anything out there, maybe potentially buying some fields. These obviously we're nowhere near the ones that we need to purchase. These are the two. They're still green beans, so they're still the same as what they were. But the only other thing we could potentially look at is if there's any fields out here to buy that are on the cheaper side. I doubt it, honestly. 56, that's not bad. What is that? What is that? I don't think it's anything right now. I think it's just been plowed up. It has. Okay. So that's not terrible. It's not too far away from where we are. 11 here would be nice. 52, that's pretty close. Spinach. For some reason I thought that was soybeans. They look very similar, don't they? But it's not. Or not soybeans, canola, excuse me. They look very, very similar, but they're not for some reason. They're I don't know why they couldn't have found a different color. Those colors are very, very close together. Anyway, there's not many small fields, honestly. Well, I mean, they are, but like when you actually click them to buy whatever the field is, it's there's a lot more land with it, right? So it's not as cheap as you might have anticipated or expected, I guess. Yeah, there's really not much. I mean, we could potentially buy this guy eventually. We'd have to sell some stuff. It's barley. It's growing. It's not the greatest yield. It's 67% yield. It does have weeds in it. 93 grand. I don't think we could even get there if we sold everything. We have 20,000 grain, and we could not get there. We cannot get there. Yeah, so that's not going to work. So the other thing we can look at is potentially... wrong section. So I don't know, the small factories, we definitely don't want to utilize those. We've already figured that out. These are a waste of our time. The other ones are outrageously expensive. I was hoping maybe we'd find something else in here, but it's not looking like that's the case. These are all outrageous. We need to get some more mods out on Mod Hub, really, before we're going to start being able to utilize some of this, I think. So that's unfortunate. I don't really want to do greenhouse on this series unless I have to, because we're already doing it pretty heavily on the Survive 25 series, and I've already kind of hinted at doing it in the Survival Challenge series. I know that's confusing. The New Frontier and then the Z-Lanka different maps, those two map series. I've already, well, the one we're doing it full on. Z-Lanka's full on greenhouses. The other one we've hinted at it. It's not that I dislike doing greenhouses in every one. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but maybe I just kind of wait a little bit before we do that. We could buy some of these maybe, but I don't know. I mean, it is a constant income, and it's not a terrible amount of money to put down like a windmill here, right? It's going to be a constant, $984 a month, which would help with the loan for sure, right? That would help offset the loan. Because that loan is just, I think it's about $900, the loan is. So that's, I guess, an option. I really think the option we should be doing, I really do. I think we go with a plow we plow this up, and at least for now, we maybe turn it into just a regular crop field. But eventually, when we have enough money to buy a mower and a loading wagon and all that, you know, well, I mean, I guess I could just put grass in it now. I guess that really wouldn't hurt, would it? If I just put grass in it now? Yeah, that probably wouldn't be like a terrible option, actually, now that I think about it. Thanks for bearing with me here, gang, while we went through this. Just trying to kind of talk through it with you and figure out what's going on here. Yeah, I do think that probably is the best approach here, is to get a plow or something of that nature, a plow or a subsoiler. There is a new subsoiler that is out. Now, it's a bit of a spoiler here, so I apologize, but I'm going to be utilizing this exact subsoiler in the survival challenge on New Frontier. But it's a nice one. $10,000 is reasonable. It has a reasonable width. We can go to 9 blades here, which gives us a 5.1 meter width, and it's only $14,000. It's really not that bad. I really think it's pretty decent, actually. I don't necessarily know if we need the 9 blade width for the farm here. Perhaps a 5 blade or even a 7 blade would work probably fine, which would save us a little bit of money, right? I think this is what we're going to go with. Because otherwise, right, we've got this one, which is 1.2 meter. It's not bad. Not terrible, but not bad. It's really cheap, right? It's really inexpensive. This one's $7,000 for the same bit. Well, it's slightly bigger, but basically the same, right? These are not terrible. Here's one for, you know, $10,000, which 4 meters. That's $12,000. So I mean, it's not terrible, right? That's, you know, around the same. It's actually a little bit better than this one now that I'm looking at it. Oh, wrong one. This one is a little bit better. 3 meters for $10,000. 4 meters for 12. This one is 2.5 for 10,000 and 3.7 for 12. So the only reason you would really buy this one is for the 9 blade, right? That's the only reason you would get it. And I prefer, me personally, ones that are just kind of pull behind versus these staggered sideways plows, your traditional plows. Not that there's anything wrong with these. I just like making more squared off fields, and it's much easier to do with you know, something that's more like this than the other way around. So so I guess there's a little bit of thinking there that we have to do, don't we? What's this one? What's the difference here? I don't know. This tool suits perfect grape and all. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. Just read it, Z. Read it. That's all you gotta do, buddy. So the thing, I guess, the difference here is this one doesn't really require a horsepower limit. Like, there's no limit on the horsepower. You can pretty much use any horsepower you want. Whereas this one does require a certain horsepower to accomplish the goal here, right? 150 horsepower, which I believe our tractor is 150 horsepower. 225 horsepower. I was completely wrong. So it's much higher than that. So I think the worker's pretty much done here. So I think, having considered all of that, I think that's the approach we're going to do. We probably won't do it in this episode, more than likely. It'll be the next one, I think. Since the worker's almost done here, we might as well go ahead and take over. I'm just going to plow this up a little bit. We could drill this field, right? We got enough to do today, I think, on this field that we don't necessarily have to start that, but thanks for bearing with me while I talk through all the different thoughts that go through my mind, most of the time off camera. Alright. So let's grab the drill. Now, this is going to be the exact same thing. Those two fields are always going to be the exact same thing, at least until we get a rice drill and harvester. Now, that is something we could look at potentially doing. Regular rice, not long grain rice. That's something we could look at. I think they're pretty expensive, though. As a matter of fact, I think we looked at that at the very beginning of the series, but it's been a bit, so I'm a little slow there. I think I'm blanking a little bit on that, but I'm pretty sure they were very, very expensive. Rice planters are 25, so yeah, that would take out most of our money. The harvester itself is 100 grand, so yeah, not possible right now. But nice thought for the future. I think we have enough seed in here to do this field, so let's go ahead and just let's get right into it here. Now I don't know for sure. I probably should have did this the other way. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna bear with me for a minute. We're gonna kind of just jump to the middle here for a minute. I'm gonna try to do this the more traditional way, well, the way that the game wants you to do it in FS25, where you drill in the middle and then do the outserts afterwards, right? Do the headlands afterwards, which makes a lot of sense in real life. It's just not what we did in FS22, so it's hard for me to remember to do it and get used to it, I guess. Anyway, cruising along, though. Cruising along. So we didn't do too bad today. Now, we've got to figure out something to do with that pallet of canola. So we've got the one pallet of canola that has spawned, right? We've got to figure out some way to get rid of that. Now, what we're probably going to end up doing is what we've already utilized in another series. Specifically, we're utilizing it for... Which one did we use it for? It was for the Sri Lanka series, right? When we had the pallets of honey. We found that... basically just a fork that you could attach to the 3-point or to the back of the tractor, either way, and utilize that. And now it doesn't really have a whole lot of maneuvering like you know, a normal front loader would, but it does the job, right? We can move the pallet that way. Now, moving forward, it won't be as big of a deal. I mean, a lot of it will probably be off camera. As I've mentioned a number of times, I won't really be utilizing this on camera very often. Occasionally, when we're having some dire trouble, certainly, but most of the time it won't be that. But I do have the liftable bales and pallets mod on. It finally came out. I think I might have mentioned that in the last episode, but if I didn't, I'll mention it again real quick now, or if you're new. So I will utilize that, you know, often off camera just to help achieve some things a little bit quicker for me, right? Help my time out a little bit more. And since you're not seeing it, I don't think it really makes that big of a difference, right? Now, another thing we could look at, and would be nice to have, is another tractor, right? That would be something nice to have. I've been kind of waiting, hoping one would pop out on the used market. Nothing has yet. These are some new ones that I just installed. They're pretty nice, but they're not quite enough horsepower for what we have on the farm right now. We really need a little bit more than that. They could be utilized for some other things. Absolutely, 100% they could. But we really need... We need one that has a little bit more horsepower than that, realistically, if we want to utilize it to the best of our abilities. Because we need it at least to be able to do the cultivation, at a minimum. It needs to be able to do the cultivation. And that one simply would not, unfortunately, be able to do the cultivation. At least I don't think it would. I'll double-check that right now. Now that I said that, I might have just lied to you. I don't think I did, but... quick save. Move up. Come on. Hurry up. Why does the save take so long? 110 horsepower. Okay, so it would be close. It doesn't, but it would be close because it only can go up to 90. So you might be able to get away with it. You might. Considering this land is pretty flat, you probably could get away with it. But who knows? So I've rambled on a lot here, gang, and this episode's getting pretty long as it is. So I think what I'm going to do, there's the train again. I don't know how many numbers that is, or how many times that's passed, what the number is of that, but somebody will let me know down below in the comments that was keeping track of it for the whole episode. Anyway, I think we're going to leave the episode here, gang. I'll let the worker continue on here, doing the thing. Once they're done, we'll go ahead and just throw some fertilizer down quick. It won't take long with that new, well, the gently used fertilizer spreader we got that has a longer arm, right? So it will take us seconds probably to do any kind of fertilizing moving forward, which is good for contract stuff and things like that. But yeah, we'll leave it here, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, again, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It helps me out a ton. I want to thank all of my members really quick. All 5 of you guys are awesome and amazing. I thank you so much for your continued support. If you're interested in becoming a member, just a bit of a little knowledge thing for you. You do get access to this video and all other series videos when they are ready, regardless if it's weeks ahead of time or if it's a day before. You do get early access to all videos from every series. You also have a specific members-only series that happens once a month. So just as a special thank you to all of you. And yeah, so if you're interested, there's a link down below in the description. You can check it out. Become a member. It's not too much. Yeah, and it supports me. So with all that said, thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.